Welcome back, everybody. And here we go again into Kefka's Tower. Of course, welcome back to Final Fantasy VI. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. For me, it's just been busy because we've had a Drak tries come out this week. We've had a review to be able to help me get a little bit more caught up. And people have actually been asking about the reviews. I would probably expect that they would be maybe 1 to 2 weeks after the release, and it's just because I don't get that extra time with the review copies and all that stuff, so I gotta take whatever time I can. So I am gonna make a little bit of a promise to people who do watch the reviews. You at least will get a check-in by the second week. If you do not have one, then I will get one for you. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily apply to the ones that are still out there. I'm currently working on Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda Breath of the Wild, so you guys will get that very soon. And people have also been asking if I was going to do a review for the Nintendo Switch. I'm just going to tell you here and now, no. I am not planning on doing a full-on review for the Switch, but I am going to vlog about the Nintendo Switch. So I feel it's a little bit more worthwhile to be able to do that, because given... I mean, the Switch has been out for a while now, and given its current launch lineup, I'm not necessarily all that interested in doing a full-on review. I'd rather do like an end-of-year review to see if Nintendo's been able to pull it off. But there will at least be a vlog on my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch, how it operates, everything like that. So that is going to happen. But yeah, we've got a brand new review up this week for For Honor, in case you guys haven't seen it yet. Sadly, I was not kind. But I had to call it as I see it, and unfortunately For Honor was a horribly average game. Yet another horribly average game by Ubisoft. We also have a Drak Tries, which came out literally yesterday for Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh my gosh, all the people can get off my back now! Yes, I did a Drak Tries for Mass Effect Andromeda, and yes, that means there will be a review. The funniest part is that I'm not quite done with 3 yet, but after I did the Drak Tries, it actually did push me into getting... more done in Mass Effect 3, so... But there's more reasons to it than that. I've actually... I love my wife dearly, I love Andrea dearly, but she's been making a very big push that I start having a little bit more time off at night, and unfortunately I tend to work round the clock on the channel, so I tend to agree with her on that, so that's probably going to happen, and that'll at least let me get to the games that I want to be able to cover for you guys and give my opinions on, because that can be done in my free time. And then you've got so much more coming out today and tomorrow. I'm not sure how this is going to go because editing has proven a little bit difficult for this one, but I have no problem telling you that either this afternoon... Actually, you know what? I'm probably just going to say it right here now just to buy myself a little bit more time. So this afternoon, a day early, you're going to get your vlog for Iron Fist episodes 2 and 3. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm having a little bit of trouble editing down the, or making a YouTube version of the latest Why We Geek episode, which was supposed to go up tomorrow, or later today, but is now going to go up tomorrow. So that way I get a little bit of time to work with it, and you guys will get episode 3 of Why We Geek, and it's appropriate subject matter for that day too, so this is kind of appropriate. This works. So I know you guys are going to enjoy that, and yeah, so there you go. Another episode of Why We Geek in the books. Now, this is actually a funny part in the playthrough. I obviously edited it down, but I actually got stuck at this point with Strago for some weird reason after this boss. I actually, as soon as I beat this boss at the exact same area, I would get the exact same fight. And unfortunately, one of the enemies there had L5 Doom. Now, for those who don't know what that does, L5 Doom basically, for anybody who's within like level 5 level increments, so 5, 10, 15, 20, if you have that level, you immediately get Doom, and it's not a countdown, it's instant Doom. So that's already a problem, and unfortunately, I got stuck with the exact same thing like 4 times. Thankfully, I've edited it down for you guys, but oh, that was so frustrating going through that. So yeah, I'll put in the first one, but I'm not putting in any more than that because I don't want to take up too much time. We already have so much time that Kefka's Tower is going to take. In fact, I think the last episode is going to be over the 25-minute limit, and I try very hard not to do that. but given game credits and things like that, I think it's going to be appropriate to do that here. And I hope you guys will agree as well, but that's up to you guys. And there we go. So Inferno has been taken care of. So yeah, you guys have lots to look forward to. Obviously, you have the Tale of Drak, which happens throughout this week. You have the review for For Honor, Drak Tries, Mass Effect Andromeda, so you can see my first hour of gameplay, which I've been told I didn't get very far, but there's a lot of dialogue, and I didn't want to miss that. So you guys can enjoy it for what it is, and enjoy my platforming around. And then later on today, you're going to be getting my vlog for Iron Fist episodes 2 and 3. And then finally, tomorrow, not only will you get a Tale of Drakfu, but you will also get Why We Geek Episode 3. And you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. It's Power Rangers. I had to do it for the movie that was coming out. It was either that or Ghost in the Shell, which I decided to go with Power Rangers because there's... Ghost in the Shell is kind of anime fandom. Power Rangers is its own thing. So nothing against Ghost in the Shell. We'll probably do something... for it at some point. I did want to do it in honor of the movie, but there's so much stuff coming out that I want to be able to do dedications to that I didn't want that to dictate my agenda for the entire year. So we're gonna do stuff here. Here you go, L5 Doom, and since everybody's within level 5 increments, everybody's dead. Now, thankfully, like I said, it took about 4 encounters with this guy. Yes, this exact same fight. And this time I lucked out because it was a preemptive attack so I could get away. But, yeah. Look at it that way. I literally would get back into the game and have to deal with this fight all over again. Not fun. But here we go. Further into Kefka's Tower. So much for you guys to look forward to. And actually, so a few people have reached out to me about other reviews that you guys want me to take on throughout the year, and I have heard you, so they have been added to the list. One of which was Snake Path, which is coming out March 28th, I believe, for the Switch. That is going to be covered. There was another, a remake of an old game, which was Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap. I'm going to be covering that for Switch for you guys. And a couple of other games that you guys wanted me to consider, one of which was The Surge. So I will be covering that on Xbox, and another game called Rhyme, which I think is also on Xbox One. So those have been added to the list, and I will do my best with them, but as I have told these people via messages, if you're expecting a positive review, don't. I will review it how I see fit. And if that means that it's negative, I'm sorry, I may hurt your feelings with that. Especially if it's like a shooter or whatever, I'm going to be honest about what I think. So I have no problem with you guys giving me suggestions for reviews, and as long as I can fit it in, I will. But keep that in mind. I'm going to be honest about it. And my opinion might not necessarily be your opinion. And as long as you're okay with that, then sure, cool. We have no problem with that. And of course, I'm also getting excited because as of April, yeah, I think April, we're going to have some big changes coming to the channel. Obviously, we're coming down to the last couple of episodes of Final Fantasy VI. So we'll be starting up Final Fantasy VII, I think, in April. And then... excuse me. We'll also be starting up a new series with Andrea because I don't think King's Quest is going to last that long. We're getting to a point where all the episodes are like 2 hours at best. Or 2 hours at least, 3 hours at best, so that'll happen fairly soon. Plus a bunch of other stuff that I'm looking forward to, so at that point we'll start hitting the summer, and not a whole, my agenda is pretty much going to stay the same, but I'm going to have a little bit more free time to get things like Why We Geek done, and all that fun stuff. Oh, and in case you guys didn't see it, because all the Resident Evil fans, I'm trying to let them know, I do have a final review for Resident Evil 7, so yay, I get to sleep now. I can already imagine the comment right there, oh, you're such a pussy. No, I really am not. I've played the Resident Evil series. I love the Resident Evil series. This one just hit more buttons than they usually do. Thankfully, though, it's still a freaking good game, so you guys can look forward to the review for that. Oh no, I just spoiled it. It's positive. Yes, it's positive. You guys could tell that from the check-in. I already knew that concept, so... yeah, and you've got lots of awesome reviews that are coming very soon, because, yeah, like I said, I'm working on Horizon Zero Dawn and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. As soon as I'm done with one of those, then I'll move into Blaster Master Zero and giving a final review for that, and so on and so forth. I'm a little bit behind, but I will get caught up, so, like I said, in the next 2 weeks or so, if I don't at least have a check-in on that, I'll hop to it and get it to you guys. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. We are continuing to make our way through Kefka's Tower, and it's long. It's a long slog. And we've only made the slog for one. One team has already made it to the end. But that was the one that had the Moogle charm, so that makes a whole lot of sense. And yeah, in case you guys couldn't tell, I actually think we'll probably be done. I've edited the last little bits of Final Fantasy VI. So, or at least as of this video. And we're probably looking at another 2-3 weeks of Final Fantasy VI, and then in April, we will start up the most popular game in the series, Final Fantasy VII. In case you guys are not tired with me saying that already. And of course, people wanted to check in with me to see if I had played any of Final Fantasy 15. Not yet, but that's also why I'm working on this whole issue of taking time off at the end of the day. People are... I don't know if people actually get this, but YouTubers tend to work really, really odd hours, especially when, you know, it's you out there, it's your channel, it's your ideals, it's your brand, and so you tend to put a lot of time and effort into it, so much so that you can pretty much, you can burn the candle at both ends and find it very difficult to take care of yourself at the end of the day. So I've been having that issue, and at the same time, I don't want to be like Markiplier and having to do the videos from the hospital. I've said that numerous times, but I really don't want to be that guy. So, oh look, there's our other dragon. So let's go ahead and take care of him. So I really don't want to be that guy, and that's why I'm actually trying to... I agree with my wife here, and I want to be able to, at the end of the day, kick back and do what I want to do instead of be all focused on the channel. Because as much as I'm trying to get things like podcasts edited and all that stuff, I actually... If you don't take time for yourself, then it becomes a real issue and you get burned out really quickly. So that's why I agree with my wife. This is probably something for the best that needs to be done. Plus, it also takes away time that I want to spend with Andrea, and it also takes time away from my daughter. So I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to be able to be a family man as well as be able to enjoy what I do with you guys too. And there you go. Defeated all 8 dragons. The dragon seal is broken, and we now gain the Magicite Crusader. And Crusader, I believe, is the only one that teaches the spell Merton. Merton is a powerful spell. People might notice I never use it. And the reason I don't use it is because it's one of those spells that hits not only your enemies, but you as well. It's not worth it to me. So, besides, Ultimate gets the job done. It really does. It's an amazing spell, and its offense is only 1. So I at least have that going for me. Oh, and in case people are interested in this, and I do occasionally pimp the Drak and Shadow channel here, but I really should do it more. In case you guys have never seen it before, it's where me and Alex the Shadow Blazer from the Geek News podcast, we get together and we do Let's Plays of our own. And actually, we also do movie vlogs, and people have been asking if I have seen the most recent Beauty and the Beast remake. I do have a vlog on Drak and Shadow. Unfortunately, Alex wasn't interested, but I did a solo vlog. I went with my wife to go see Beauty and the Beast, and you guys can check that out on that channel. As well as the various other Let's Plays that we have there. We have 40-plus Let's Plays that you guys can check out. We have stuff from Sonic the Hedgehog to Legend of Zelda, the Dot Hack RPG series for PlayStation 2. We have Phantasy Star. We're actually getting ready to start up new RPGs on the channel. The Jak and Daxter series is covered there. Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. We just barely finished Banjo-Tooie last year. So you guys can check that out. Let's see, any other major series that we have going on those other days? No, a lot of that is just kind of the one-offs where it's this one game that people want us to try out. But yeah, check out Drak and Shadow if you guys haven't done that already, and it's youtube.com/Drak and Shadow, actually spelled out. So Drak and Shadow. Yay! I've pimped yet another product. I'm sure somebody's gonna put out in the comments, "You are such a shill." I don't care. I don't care. I work hard on this stuff. I have no problem advertising that which I work hard on. So if you have a problem with it, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the Game Grumps work hard on their stuff. Markiplier works hard on his stuff. That's the way it goes. Oh, and speaking of the podcast, yes. So again, I apologize for last week. I did say that there was going to be a podcast. Unfortunately, we had a lot of last-minute stuff happen. Alex had something going on. I think it was work-related. And Aldo had been sick since Wednesday. Basically, it narrowed down to where we had only 2 people that were available. And so I'm just like, you know what? Since I've already said earlier this year, we're not going to do two-person podcasts anymore because it's just, we pump through the stuff, or the stories so quickly. I'm not against doing a 2-person podcast, but I'd rather have discussions instead of stories. And so we had 2, and eventually I just said, you know what? Oh, and on top of that, we had the issue with, so people who are doing podcasting and using Firefox, don't use Firefox with Hangouts anymore. It doesn't work. I found that out the hard way on all of the podcasts that I've been doing. So keep that in mind. Do not do Google Hangouts with Firefox anymore. Just get yourself a separate Google Chrome or use Internet Explorer. Use those to do the Hangouts. And you'll be just fine. So yeah, the podcast, at least as far as I know, is going on this week. I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, so to speak, but I think Aldo will be feeling well enough, and I think Alex and Romney at the very least will be there. So that's kind of, people have noticed that that's kind of become the basic panel is me, Alex, and Romney, and occasionally Brinton or Aldo or other people step in for that, and that's kind of the way I want it. At max, I usually only want to have like a 5-person panel, and then I don't go above that. It's just because it gets a little too complicated to manage the podcast. But there will be one this week, I promise. We will be probably cover stories from last week as well as this week to help cover things, because the next 3 weeks they actually are going to be group review episodes, because we're going to be getting together to review Power Rangers, followed by Ghost in the Shell, and then followed by, we got another anime screening that Alex and Aldo insist, well, not Aldo, Alex insists on them, of Your Name. So, but I'm not entirely sure on that one because I don't know the panel we have. So, at the very least, you're going to get Power Rangers and Ghost in the Shell, and you might get Your Name. It depends on how many people I can actually get on the panel to cover it. So here's hoping, anime fans. If we can cover it, then we will. If not, then I think at the bare minimum, me and Alex are already talking about doing a Drak and Shadow vlog for it. So you'll at least get that. But at bare minimum, you're getting Power Rangers and Ghost in the Shell, because we've been covering those for quite a while, and it seems only fitting. And there we go. We've had yet another boss defeated. Yay! And this might not look like it, but we actually are dangerously close to endgame here. We are dangerously close to the final boss rooms. So, yay. We're almost done. Oh man, it's been such a long journey. And it's been so amazing too. I'm thankful that you guys have joined me on this journey. I'm even thankful that you guys will join me on the journey in Final Fantasy VII and for all of the other games. On this legacy of Final Fantasy, which has become kind of the unofficial title for the Final Fantasy Let's Plays, is Legacy of Final Fantasy, because it is my favorite game series of, or at least one of my favorite game series of all time, if not the one. And this is where things got a little weird. I have no problem telling you guys this, but I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and I have to loop my way back. But that's okay, because we're going to still provide you guys with entertaining content as we go along. Let's see. And I actually did have some questions that people wanted to ask. Let me see if I can dig those out. Let's see here. Oh, one in particular was for Mass Effect. It's what has taken you so long to complete Mass Effect 3? I think I need to clarify this. By the time I played the first Mass Effect, or by the time the first Mass Effect was coming out, I was in school. So I just barely beat Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2 3-4 years ago. So, yeah, I'm a little late on things. I get it. Mass Effect 3 is just simply because I was doing YouTube as well as school, and now it's full on schedule, and I haven't been able to finish it. But I'm about 75% through it. In fact, what I've been able to play this week, I can give you a minor update. I was doing nothing but side questing. Trying to get all the side quests cleaned up so that I can continue on, because it looks like the next couple of priority missions I have are like point of no return kind of deal. Certain quests can't be completed after that point. So I did get a lot of side questing done with the Citadel and with random worlds, just collecting stuff for the cause. And that's always been fun. And here is the actual end of at least Strago's path, which is one of the statues. Now, all of the paths end with a statue. This one ends with the statue of Poltergeist, which we are just going to nuke the ever-living crap out of them. That's why Ultima is an amazing spell. Because I can just sit here and go 9999, 9999, 9999. But this is Poltergeist. This is one of the eternal gods that was of the 3 statues that kept the world in balance. Well, Kefka didn't like that, so he changed it around, and now we are facing off against Poltergeist. And I will admit, like, these last boss designs for the statues are amazing. I love the fact that we have, like, this little monster underneath, and then at the top, it looks like a knightly character. Or even, like, Cain from Final Fantasy IV, and you could actually imagine that that's his lance. Pretty freaking amazing. Ooh, ow, that hurt. Okay, here's another Ultima. Can we take him down? Can we take him down? There we go. So Poltergeist is at least taken down. I have to enjoy this while I can, because once we get to the final episode, there will be no checking in, because it's just going to be run through it, and then I'll check in with you guys on the first episode of Final Fantasy VII. So it's not that I don't care, but there's just going to be a lot of stuff that requires my attention that given episode. But now this statue has been taken care of. Now here's the thing too, if you remember the discussion that we had before we entered Kefka's Tower, if we take out the statues, we take out magic itself. And that's something to consider because Terra is part Esper. So with magic goes the Espers. So now I've actually done a horrible, horrible thing. I've basically started sentencing Terra to death. Okay. I think this is where I did the bad, because I went the wrong way, and then I had to loop back around to where we go to endgame. Oh, look, it's more Vectars. Okay, well, we'll kill them, because that's always fun. Ultima! So yeah, there you go. There's a check-in for Final Fantasy, or not, Mass Effect 3. I've just been getting a bunch of side questing done to prep for the next step in that quest line. People have also been asking if I'm going to do the Eden Prime DLC. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll touch it, because I did like Lero the Shadow Broker in Mass Effect 2. So maybe I will go into that, because apparently it gives you a Prothean character. I just don't know if I care at that point. I just want to get to Andromeda. We'll see what happens. I'm not guaranteeing anything just yet. Another question that I did get is, like, what are the other games that you're currently playing aside from reviews? So I am playing Mass Effect 3. I'm also making my way through Assassin's Creed 4, which I will get to at some point. And Sly Cooper, because people have been recommending that for quite a while now. In fact, Drak and Shadow has gotten that recommendation to do a playthrough of Sly Cooper. So I'm going through those, and I don't really have thoughts on them because I have not been able to put any time into any of them. So, aside from Mass Effect 3. But hopefully, with time off, I can do that. And I could start giving you guys those updates. Okay, we're going to see if we can just get away from this guy. And we actually are coming up on that time this week, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. When we get back next week, we will finish up the remaining bits of Kefka's Tower and then finally confront Kefka Palazzo himself.